When I first heard the title Think and Grow Rich, I'll admit, I imagined something purely material, a book about money, perhaps investments, maybe shortcuts to wealth. But that's not what Napoleon Hill wrote. This book isn't about money. It's about mindset. It's about the invisible blueprint that turns thoughts into things and dreams into destinies. Hill spent more than 20 years interviewing over 500 of the most successful people of his time, men like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Andrew Carnegie, and Alexander Graham Bell. He wanted to know what made them different. Why did some people rise from nothing to greatness, while others, just as smart, just as hardworking, never did? And what he discovered changed the way millions of people think about success forever. He realized that success begins in the mind, with a burning desire so strong that it consumes doubt, fear, and circumstance. He called it the starting point of all achievement, desire. But this isn't the kind of desire that fades when things get hard. It's the kind that becomes an obsession, a vision you live and breathe every single day. He tells the story of Edwin Barnes, a man who had one burning dream, to work with Thomas Edison. Barnes had no money, no connections, but he boarded a train anyway and arrived at Edison's office, declaring he would one day be his business partner. Edison saw the fire in his eyes and hired him for a humble position. Years passed. Then one day, an opportunity came that no one else recognized. Barnes seized it, and that was the beginning of a partnership that made him wealthy. His success wasn't luck, it was desire in action. Desire is only the beginning. To turn it into reality, you must believe, truly believe that it can happen. Hill calls this faith, but not the blind kind. It's the act of convincing your subconscious mind that success is already yours. He wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." To build this belief, he taught the habit of autosuggestion, repeating affirmations, visualizing your goals every day, feeding your mind with conviction until it accepts no alternative. He believed the subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant there, good or bad, it will grow. So choose your thoughts wisely. Then comes specialized knowledge, not the general kind you find in classrooms, but specific knowledge that helps you serve others in a unique way. Hill saw how many people chase degrees, but few chase understanding. He tells of Henry Ford, a man mocked for not knowing technical details, but Ford simply surrounded himself with people who did. Hill learned that success doesn't require you to know everything, just to know how to use what you know. And behind every great success, there is always imagination. Hill describes two types: synthetic imagination, which rearranges old ideas into new ones, and creative imagination that taps into something deeper, what he called infinite intelligence. Every great invention, every business idea, every breakthrough begins as a spark in the imagination of one person who dares to dream beyond what exists. But ideas alone mean nothing without organized planning. Hill warns that most people fail not because they lack ideas, but because they lack plans and persistence. He gives the story of a man who quit mining for gold just 3 feet away from one of the richest veins ever discovered. Someone else came after him, dug a little deeper, and struck gold. The difference wasn't skill, it was persistence. He teaches that when your plan fails, you don't quit, you adjust. Every failure carries with it the seed of an equal or greater success. He believed persistence is the true test of faith, because when everything tells you to stop, faith whispers, keep going. He also discovered the incredible power of what he called the mastermind, a group of like-minded people who work together in harmony toward a common purpose. He saw that no one achieves greatness alone. Even the most brilliant minds need others to challenge, support, and sharpen them. He compared it to electricity. When two wires meet, energy flows. When two minds connect, ideas spark. And those sparks can light up entire worlds. Then he dives into something uncomfortable but real: decision. He noticed that successful people decide quickly and change their minds slowly.
Unsuccessful people hesitate, second-guess, and change their minds constantly. The world, he says, gives its rewards to those who know what they want and act on it. And right beside decision stands persistence, the habit of refusing to stop even when the path gets dark. Hill tells the story of Abraham Lincoln, who failed in business, lost elections, and faced ridicule, yet kept going, until he became one of history's most respected leaders. Persistence, Hill wrote, is to character what carbon is to steel. It makes you unbreakable. But perhaps one of the most fascinating chapters is about the power of the subconscious mind. He describes it as a bridge between thought and reality, a constant worker that never sleeps, always listening to the emotional tone of your thoughts. Fill it with fear, and it will manifest obstacles. Fill it with faith, and it will bring opportunities you never imagined. And the key emotion that feeds it best? Faith mixed with emotion. He explains that thoughts mixed with emotion are magnetic. They attract what aligns with them. He was describing the law of attraction long before the phrase existed. Then comes one of Hill's most unmisunderstood lessons, the mystery of sex transmutation. He doesn't mean physical desire. He means channeling that raw creative energy into ambition, art, business, and purpose. He noticed how many powerful people, artists, leaders, inventors, used passion as fuel for greatness. When that energy is redirected toward creation, it becomes an unstoppable force. But success isn't just about energy. It's also about the power of the brain itself. Hill saw it as a transmitter and receiver of thoughts, tuned to pick up the vibrations of others. He believed our minds are connected and that creative insights often come from tapping into a universal intelligence. It might sound mystical, but science today calls it intuition or even the subconscious network. Either way, Hill's message was clear. Trust your mind's quiet voice. It often knows before you do. Then he turns to something spiritual, the sixth sense. He calls it the door to the temple of wisdom. It's that intuitive flash that guides you when logic fails. Hill believed that once a person disciplines their thoughts, desires, and emotions, this sixth sense awakens, allowing guidance to come from a place beyond reasoning. But Hill doesn't ignore the enemy within. He lists the 6 major fears that stop most people. Fear was poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. These fears, he says, are the true jailers of human potential. He urges readers to face them directly, because you can't master life if you're a servant to fear. He gives examples, how fear of criticism keeps people from sharing ideas, how fear of poverty keeps them trapped in jobs they hate, and how fear of failure keeps them from ever beginning. The way out, he insists, is through conscious fear with purpose, doubt with faith, and hesitation with daily action. As the book nears its end, Hill returns to his core message, that every great success story begins not with money, but with an idea and the belief that it can be real. Every invention, company, or movement was once just a single thought in someone's mind who refused to give up. He reminds us of one final truth. Riches come in many forms. Money is only one of them. There are riches of friendship, love, health, peace of mind, and purpose. To truly grow rich, we must learn to think richly, to see abundance where others see limits, and to use our minds as tools for creation, not worry. When Hill finished his 20-year study, he didn't just give the world a formula for financial success. He gave us a philosophy for life, a path where thoughts become things, and where our inner world builds our outer world. He proved that success isn't a secret reserved for the few. It's a habit, a mindset, and a decision anyone can make. So, as you close your eyes tonight, ask yourself, what do you truly desire? Can you see it, feel it, believe in it as if it's already yours? Because that's where it all begins, in thought. And if Napoleon Hill was right, and he was, what you think about with purpose and passion, you eventually become. And if this story opened something inside you, if it reminded you that wealth and success begin not in your bank account, but in your mind, then don't let it stop here. Like this video, subscribe to FROMBOOK for more storytelling journeys like this one, and share it with someone who's ready to change the way they think. Because the richest people in the world aren't just those who have. They're those who believe, imagine, and persist until they do.